This episode of The Dungeon Booth is sponsored by Roll20. Take your game online with the free virtual tabletop that runs straight out of your web browser. You get click-to-roll character sheets, built-in video and voice chat, and you can even upload your own maps and tokens. Create a free account today by going to roll20.net/start/The Dungeon Booth. The Dungeon Booth is also sponsored by Elderwood Academy, makers of finely crafted wooden tabletop gaming accessories like the Codex Dice Tower, Scroll Rolling Tray, and Spellbook bespoke luxury gaming boxes. Go design your own custom accessory today at elderwoodacademy.com. Welcome back to The Dungeon Booth.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Ruth Wilowmane. Well met. And I'm glad that you found your way to our village. I hope you made it here without incident.
Well,
I show evidence of my injuries.
are we like covered in carnage from exploding bodies?
You have a the
Like the
stump
hole
of
in
an
my-
arrow, sticking out of your shoulder. You are beaten up. Your tunic is cut. You're fine somehow. I don't know. You're just fine. So she kind of sizes you up and she says, so you ran into him, huh?
The Nightblades, they call themselves.
That's right. Well, that's why I've asked you to be here, and I thank you so much for coming out to our modest little village. It's a bit out of the way. You've probably never found your way out to these parts before, but I'm very glad that you've come. And she kind of motions down to these cups, these tankards that are on the table, and you notice every single one of them, there's now 5. They're all empty. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. And she sees you looking at them, and she kind of looks back up at you and kind of meets your eyes with a steely gaze and says, Ale, breakfast of champions, you want some?
Yes.
What about you, sweetie?
Yeah.
How about you, short stuff?
I'll have one to sip on.
So she kind of nods over at, there's a little serving guy. He looks like he's a little kid over by the inn, and he kind of nods and he runs inside, and you guys all settle into the table together. And she says, well, I'm going to cut straight to the point. I'm going to tell you why you're here. I began to hear reports recently of bandit attacks on the road, and that was about a month back. But soon after, a local rancher was killed in the night, and his throat was slit, and every goat on his ranch seemed to have had its blood drained. And we don't get much activity like that out here in the country, as you can probably imagine. And she kind of adjusts herself on the seat and puts her hand on her longsword and looks off in the distance and says, I have reason to believe that what's happening now is linked to what happened here before, over 10 years ago. So you'll have to bear with me a moment. I can tell you a little bit about the history and some of the terrible things that have happened in our village. You know, back then, there was an evil bandit chief by the name of Ralavaz. And he and his younger brother, Gardrin, they set themselves up in a nearby watchtower. She kind of points off in the distance, over there to the north. And they called it the Lonely Torch. It's an ancient elven stronghold. It's been abandoned for centuries. Well, them and their pack of murderers and thieves called themselves the Nightblades. And they went around systematically terrorizing the countryside. Extortion, blackmail, kidnappings, outright murder. And she kind of pauses. The serving boy comes up, and he has cups for each of you. He plunks each one down. Do you drink it?
I pick it up and in one fell swoop.
Just quaff it? Okay. It tastes like a goat. It tastes like it was made by some kind of fermented goat milk.
Sounds good.
I watch him to make sure he doesn't die
Okay.
for a hot minute.
Yep.
And so you don't react to this taste.
I don't react at all. I'm just like, boom, down, ready
Done.
for more story.
Okay.
Great. So I see that he doesn't die and take a huge gulp.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this day.
Doc utters his first laugh in his life.
The smile and the laugh.
Uh-huh.
The first of your
We're
life.
bonding here in Detroit.
Erica takes a small sip and then immediately spits it back into the cup.
Yes.
And then looks around to see if anyone saw.
Nobody saw you.
Nice.
No, nobody saw you. And you get the impression that Ruth probably, even if she did see you, wouldn't pay any mind at all. So
She said 5 tankards of ale.
that's her breakfast. So she gets a fresh cup. This will be her 6th. And she picks it up and kind of smells it. Oh, I love that fermented goat's milk bouquet. Every morning, it's the best way to wake up, I tell you. And she takes a big drink. As she puts the cup down, she has a big frothy mustache all over the top of her lip, and she kind of wipes it on the back of her gauntlet. And she says, our sheriff at the time back then was, well, ill-equipped to deal with such a serious threat. He was more rancher than sheriff. White Sparrow had been peaceful and safe for so long, most people simply paid their protection or paid the ransom when their children were taken. And the sheriff claimed to be working on a plan to root him out, but I knew better. He was scared. We were all scared. After a time, some of the young people of the village began to join the Nightblades. And if you can't beat them, join them, right? Well, one of whom was my poor, sweet, troubled fool of a younger brother, Dronder. Dronder was a little slow, but he meant well. And sure enough, when Dronder refused to kill a rancher who stood up to Ralavaz, he killed the rancher and my little brother. And she kind of stops and gathers herself, takes another sip of disgusting fermented goat milk. Well, I went to the sheriff, and he said it was insufficient evidence to arrest Ralavaz and his brother Gardrin for murdering my poor little brother Dronder. But justice had to be served, so one night I rallied the villagers on a raid against Ralavaz and his younger brother Gardrin and their Nightblade bandit scum. And we drove them out of their tower. We cornered them in a barn. I tried to get them to surrender. I wanted to make them pay for their crimes and my brother's death by spending the rest of their lives in chains. It's where they belonged. But the villagers, after months of being terrorized, of having their loved ones taken away, of suffering at the hands of the Nightblades, they had no more patience for words, and they set that barn on fire. I wanted them brought to justice, but I never wanted that. But then, who came running out of the barn? Screaming like a stuck pig? Their fearsome leader, Ralavaz, begging for his life, throwing himself at our feet. His younger brother Gardrin and all the rest of the Nightblades didn't make it out. Ralavaz was taken away to the local lord's castle, where he has remained in chains for the last decade. And the village unanimously voted me in as the new sheriff of White Sparrow. And she picks up her cup and drains it. That was 10 years ago. But now, I just got word that Ralavaz had been released from prison. I don't know why. That murderer should be rotting for the rest of his life. But soon after I heard this news, the bandit attacks began. That was about a month ago. And a few days back, a rancher reported that he saw flickering lights and the shadows of figures moving through a window of the Lonely Torch. So, I gathered the townspeople together and I made a plan. I said, we can't handle this ourselves. We may want to. We may think we can. But we can't. We have to reach out for help. So I got in touch with the agency of your guild, and I've hired you to go to that tower, and I need you to go there as soon as possible, put an end to those bandits if they're there. I don't much care how you do it, as long as you stop them. Though I would prefer if their leader were brought to justice instead of killed. A swift death is too good for those scum.
Experience points. Of interest. Rachel Menz writes, my dad started my 3 younger siblings and me on D&D when I was in junior high. He's been playing since it first came out in the 70s. During our first game, my youngest brother shot a troll, but totally failed on his damage roll. When he did, he shouted, oh yeah, oh shoot, while his character hid behind a tree. To this day, when any similar situation happens for my family, whether it's in D&D or in real life, we all say, oh yeah, oh shoot. Nothing warms my coldly diabolical dungeon master heart like hearing a story about how tabletop role-playing brings families together, especially when it's a critical failure that's bringing families together. Rachel, for sharing your story with us, we're giving you 3 free months of Roll20 Plus premium subscription courtesy of Roll20.net. Roll20 is a free virtual tabletop toolset that runs right in your browser. It's used by over 3.5 million players around the world. You can create character sheets easily with only a few mouse clicks. You can interact with your party with built-in video voice chat, and play your favorite games like Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder, hundreds more. So congrats, Rachel. You'll get all those free features and the premium features of the Roll20 Plus subscription, like dynamic lighting effects that let you control what your players see on the map based on what their character's line of sight is. To sign up for your free account right now, go to roll20.net/start/the dungeon booth. And please send your amazing stories of success and failure at the table to xp@thedungeonbooth.com for a chance to have it featured on an upcoming episode and to win a prize. And now, let's head back to the game.
And she motions over for the server to come back, and you're looking at these 6 empty tankards in front of her, wondering if it's possible that she's about to order a 7th. But when he comes over, instead she says, I want you to take them to the Lonely Torch so that they can take a look at it and get a sense of what they're up against. She says, I'll tell you anything you want to know. I'll answer any questions that I can, but I'll tell you this for sure. You've got to be very careful when you approach that tower. There's a kind of poisonous weed that's grown up all the way around it. Here we call it tangleweed. Seems to be alive. I don't know how else to explain it. Of course, all plants are alive. She kind of laughs at herself. But this one seems to be hungry. So you'll have to be careful when you get close. And if they're using this tower as their base, I can't imagine how those bandits are coming and going through those poison plants, but they'd have to have some way to get in, some way to get out. So there must be a passage or some other method they're using to come and go. I can tell you that several months back, one of the village children came to me and reported seeing a cloud of bats emerge from the Lonely Tower and descend on a large elk that had wandered near the tangleweed. He said that when they flew off back to the tower, all that remained was a bloodless, wrinkled husk. And I dismissed it as just a story at the time, but after what happened to the goats, just be careful.
We saw a similar situation with the foot on the road back there.
A foot?
There was just a random foot.
Was this the bandits you ran into?
Yeah, they was part of their decoy, their trap. I need to know what Ralavaz looks like.
Well, 10 years ago, when he came running out of that barn like a stuck pig, he was tall, dashing, looked like an ADR director.
Who can cast us in the roles of our dreams.
Fetching.
Kind eyes.
Symmetrical cheekbones.
Was there a injury to his right eye?
No injury to his right eye that I recall.
All right.
But I can tell you this, he is a bloodthirsty monster. He looks like a human. He's not. Whatever he is on the inside, it's not human. Because you can't be a human and do the things that he has done to the poor innocent villagers of this town. He will not have any mercy on you. If it is Ralavaz and he's back, then you need to be very careful.
All right.
Any other questions before you head out to the tower?
No, but thank you for your information, Limerick. Raises a glass to toast.
Your full glass.
My full glass. Limericks I cannot compose, with noxious smells in my nose. But this one was easy. I only felt queasy because this ale smells like toes. Just puts the full tankard down and walks away.
Yes, and Ruth kind of like looks at you curiously and says, motions over to the boy and says, Rudy, come over here. I want you to take this group and on your way there, let them know anything else you've heard about the Lonely Tower here recently. And then I want you to lead them to the edge of a tangleweed, but don't get close. Just show them the way. And Rudy comes over and he's like a 10-year-old kid. And he's looking at you guys like you are the most amazing thing he's ever seen in his life. He's wearing overalls. One of the straps of the overalls is off, hanging loose. He has no shoes on. He's barefoot. Clearly, he made some attempt at trying to do something with his hair, but it's a mess. It just looks like a total mess.
It's way Campion.
It's way Campion in its messiness. He says, "Hi, I'd be happy to lead you. Are you ready to go now?"
I think a short rest first. Recover a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Would be nice.
Okay. You just tell me when you're ready to go, and I can take you. I can take you on the way. And so you guys want to take a quick short rest? So a short rest is like 30 minutes.
How much of my HP would I recover?
So that depends a little bit on our bard, but it also depends on what you want to expend as far as hit dice. So each of you has the opportunity to expend hit die on a rest. And you each have D8s, I believe. So if you want to expend one, you can, but you don't get your hit die back until you do a long rest. So it's kind of like being able to heal yourself, without using any cures or anything. The only requirement being that you do have to do a full short rest. So it's like 30 minutes. So you could do that. The other alternative is you could do nothing and you could let your bard heal you up a little bit. She has the ability to heal you using her Song of Rest. And the Song of Rest, we've got a little house rule for it here that basically says that you can spend your Song of Rest whether anybody uses their hit die or not. Typically, the requirement is they have to use hit die, but we'll just say you can use it anytime because I think a bard should be able to do that. So that means you can do a D6, and each of them would get to heal a D6. So, and that's just by you reciting limericks while they rest and using your magical bard powers to do so.
Can I do a hit die and take the advantage of the bard song?
Absolutely.
I lost 9.
Okay.
So, I get a D8 plus 3. So, is that indicating the
So that's your Constitution bonus. So you would roll the D8, whatever you get from that, plus whatever your Constitution bonus is, which in your case must be 3. Eric, I think you've got a pretty good Constitution bonus too. I think you've either got 2 plus 2 or plus 3.
Plus 3.
Yeah, cool.
Can I see how that one goes?
Yeah.
And then decide if I want to do a hit die or not?
Yes, that's fine with me.
Okay. All right. So I'm ready for our short rest.
Okay. So
do we have to go to an inn for a short rest or just
that's
we
up to
plop
you.
down?
Do you want to? I mean, so if you guys are ready for a short rest, you could do it. It's 30 minutes. So you could do it right there in the yard. You could essentially treat it as Limerick is kind of giving you a concert for 30 minutes and it allows you to sort of do the things you need to do. In your case, that means meditating.
Yeah.
So you need to meditate and then you regain your key points. You also can expend your hit die. It's kind of same for you, just kind of chilling out, relaxing.
Okay.
And you can expend hit die if you need to. You don't need to. You don't have any damage. So
If Rudy is hanging out with us, I'm going to use my general lore knowledge to play a folk song of the region.
Nice.
Since he seems so starry-eyed.
very nice.
Aww. Okay.
I
meditate.
You're meditating, and go ahead and roll for. You want to expend hit die, or you want to see what she?
I want
does?
to see how that goes.
Okay,
That's a good
see how it goes.
4.
Nice.
Okay.
So the thing with the Song of Rest and so many of the things with the Bard that are kind of annoying is that they don't work on you. A lot of the buffs that you have that are awesome, like support things you can do, they just aren't for you until later levels, and then they are.
Okay.
But so if you want to heal anything, you've got to actually do some hit dice.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my hit dice.
Cool.
So I rolled a 6 plus my Constitution bonus gives me 9.
Nice.
Do I get a bonus for temporary hit points?
You don't. You lose temporary hit points as soon as whatever's giving them to you stops.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm back up to my max of 33.
Nice. Full strength. Erica's over here like, I've been at full strength for like the last 2
This
hours.
has been so easy, you guys.
Full strength is the new normal for me. And Felicia, are you going to heal yourself or not so much?
Normally I'd be like, in what situation would 3 hit points make the difference?
Yeah.
And then I remembered the air punching.
That can come back so fast.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to try my luck with Cure Wounds. I get a D8 for that, and I'm going to roll a 1 now.
Go for it.
8.
Oh my gosh, sweet.
8 plus 3.
Well,
you
I
got
only
11.
needed 3.
Okay. So you heal yourself up. The wound closes on your shoulder, and also a flower grows on the ground next to you.
And you're buzzing a little bit.
Yeah, you're buzzing.
Hey.
Yeah, you're feeling it.
High on that goat meat.
Elderwoodacademy.com is a crafter of fine tabletop gaming accessories that will take your tabletop game to the next level. You know, just about every tabletop game you play, you're going to need some dice. And what better way to show your personality and your style at the table than by bringing out a beautiful set of hand-cut, polished gemstone dice? Well, ElderwoodAcademy.com lets you choose the gemstones for your unique set of dice, from amethyst, blue-striped agate, blue sandstone, howlite, kambaba jasper, lapis lazuli, mahogany obsidian, opalite, and rose quartz. Now, my favorite is the blue sandstone, so be sure to check out that design when you go there. You're going to get the standard set of 7 polyhedral die, including 1d20, 1d12, 2d10, 1d8, 1d6, and 1d4. These dice make a great addition to your gaming treasure trove, or a great gift for the tabletop gamer in your life. So go to elderwoodacademy.com now and check out the Gemstone Phoenix dice set. I think you'll be very impressed, and I think you'll probably want a set for yourself. But go take a look and see what you think. All right, now back to the game.
Oh yeah, before we take our short rest, I chug
Pound it?
Limerick's barely touched ale.
Do you do anything to her as communication while you do it, or is this just like that somebody left their ale?
Yeah, someone left there.
Oh, okay.
I'll finish
Yeah.
it.
Okay, cool. Any reaction to that, or just
I mean, I'm
Good
a
thing that's
little
gone.
grossed out.
yeah?
He just, that's the whole reason I tried it is he seemed to like it.
Right.
So I'm learning things. Just tucking that away for later.
I chug it, and then because I leaned over to grab it from you, and so I throw it down, and then I belch in your direction.
He belched in my general
I belch in
direction.
your general direction just to get those goat fumes over to you.
Erica, what
that's
are you
hot.
thinking while this is all playing out right next to you?
What did I get myself into? These are my new friends.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you do
boy.
anything? Let's say that while they're kind of occupied with their hijinks, do you do anything with the hand in your bag, or do you do anything with?
She don't want to do anything out in
Not-
the open.
not right now.
If there are like bushes nearby, she might like go pick some berries.
Okay.
Eat some berries.
That's a great idea. Yeah, there are bushes nearby. Why not? And you go and you find some elderberries,
nice.
and you get about 12 of them. They're real juicy, and you want to keep some in your pack too for later.
Yeah, I'll eat about half.
Okay, cool. So you down 6 elderberries. It reminds you of home a little bit, and makes you feel a little bit wistful. And then you clean off the blood of your enemies from your great axe, because you never did that. And as you're cleaning it off, you see your reflection in the great axe, and you look back at yourself, and you see in the background this totally flat terrain behind you. How does that make you feel?
Oh, initially there's a pang. It's foreign, and that's a little bit scary.
Yeah.
But also, she's like, that's what I came out here to do. I grew up in the mountains, surrounded by sameness, and it's a little bit scary. But I'm gonna go out and see new things.
You're steeling yourself
Yeah.
for whatever's coming. Okay, cool. So yes, you guys finish up, you heal up, and you tell Rudy you're ready to go. Rudy eagerly, he's going too fast. He's going too far. And he keeps having to run back, and he can't believe how slow you guys are. You're just taking your time. But you find yourselves kind of gradually going up this hill. It didn't look like there was any hills at all when you first looked, but there is a very gradual rise to the north. And you're making up this rise, and you see there is kind of a goat path. And Rudy's leading you on this goat path, and you kind of start noticing the land is curving a bit. And sure enough, as you're curving around on this hill, behind that hill, you see something that looks like a tower. It's just a black spot against a very flat horizon. And Rudy says, "That's it. That's the lonely tower over there. That's the one. That's the old elf fortress. That's where the elves used to live. They say that the elves used to come here a long time ago. They don't come here anymore."
All right, thanks, Rudy. Thank you.
So you kind of shush Rudy, and he doesn't seem upset at all by that. He's just glad you're talking to him, and he's really happy about that.
Can I roll Arcana on that?
Yes.
Especially since it's all elven and stuff.
Yes. Well, let me say this. You get a little bit closer, and you have a chance to maybe see it a little bit better. So yes, looking off into the distance, you can see this squat, maybe 2-story tall tower that rises up on a rocky hill. And it looks to be at least 100, 200 years old, definitely predating any of the settlements you've seen to this point. And it's broken down. It looks like it's in very bad repair. But it's also the only thing that's featured on this landscape at all. So it's very easy to see from this distance. You want to do some kind of check?
Yeah, I was going to...
History or...
Arcana.
Arcana would be like magic.
Right. It's just they kept saying like ancient.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's do history.
See if you know something about the history of the land. So do a 1d20 and add whatever.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Whatever you've got for history there. Oh. Have you got a plus something on history?
Oh, I do. I forgot about Jack of all trades.
Oh yeah. You are the knower of all knowables.
Ah.
So what is...
She rolled a 3.
This is your life.
A 6.
A 6? Okay, good.
God bless it.
You kind of...
The goat mead went straight to my head.
You smelled the goat mead. You kind of look at it and you think for sure that's made out of stone.
Great.
For sure. Like 100% certain that is made out of stone.
Thanks, Limerick.
Yeah, share it with the group. As always. Like, so guys, my research tells me that this is a stone tower.
Okay.
So
I just shake my head slowly and just start jogging towards it.
I want to give a big thank you to Mike Shea over at slyflourish.com. Fantastic Adventures is his book of 10 great, concisely written one-shot adventures, and it was the inspiration for this game. His site, slyflourish.com, and the guides he has written are great for both veteran dungeon masters and for those who are coming to the game for the very first time. So go to slyflourish.com/fantastic adventures and go get your own copy. I promise both you and your players will love this book. Follow Kyle Phillips on Twitter at Kyle Phillips Fun. Follow Felicia Angel on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, as well as on her website at feliciaangel.com. Follow Jill Harris on Twitter at JillyBeanNomNom and on her website at JillHarrisVO.com. I'm voice actor and dungeon master Christopher Waycamp. Thank you for listening. Next time on the Dungeon Booth,
That is the smell. It's the rank odor of urine.
So Thok, I have an idea.
All right.
I think I know the smell, and I'll need your assistance.
All right.
Well, you chugged all that ale. You still got it in you?
Without question or hesitation, Thok undoes his monk belt.
Yes.
Drops trow and
Yes.
starts urinating on the
Where?
path.
On the path. Limerick, what do you Limerick, do you have?
just thinking about my life and my choices.